Here's some help with homework 4. I got requests for questions 3, 6, 19, 20, 21. So maybe I'll make like separate videos of these. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Let's look at this one. For this question, there's a little bit of molecular markers which we didn't go over this semester, but you could answer this based on the class on dominance, complete dominance, incomplete dominance. So even before I read what this question is describing, here let's focus on the question. Question is saying, what's the mode of inheritance? And then your answers are complete dominance, incomplete dominance, codominance, and epigenetics. Okay, we didn't do epigenetics yet, so I can't unclick. But for now, you know it's not epigenetics because I haven't told you anything about epigenetics. So that's how you would eliminate that. That comes when we talk about proteomics, because epigenetics will be some modification of the histone proteins, which also control gene expression. You thought you were done with gene expression, but not yet. Okay, so let's think what is codominance, what is incomplete dominance, and what's complete dominance. So in complete dominance, if I look at the heterozygote, then the phenotype is going to be the phenotype of the dominant allele. And then in incomplete and codominance, the heterozygote will have either somewhere in between or express both alleles. And that is possible to see depending on the trait. So remember when I gave the example of sickle cell anemia, and I said, okay, let's look at the shape of the red blood cells. Oh, you have both types of red blood cells, so some sickle shape, some round normal shape, then that's codominance. And then you're like, okay, but what's the effect of having both types of red blood cells on ability of energy or whatever? Then you're like, oh, this person, the phenotype is in between the homozygote recessive and homozygote dominant, then or it's in between having the sickle cell homozygote for sickle cell or homozygote for the normal cell, then in that case would be incomplete dominance. Okay, so this is a review of what these things mean. So let's address this question now. I'm telling you that the locus A, so this is locus A, and this is on the bottom locus B. And here is one parent, another parent, and there are 13 children. Okay, these are probably plants. Or I don't know, people with a lot of time. So, okay, plant. P1 is susceptible to a disease. So it gets sick if it gets in contact with a pathogen. All right, that's susceptible. It's homozygote for whatever this allele is and whatever this allele is. So these are different loci. So this is somewhere in chromosome, whatever, let's say chromosome 2. And this locus is somewhere in chromosome, it could be 2 in the other arm. This is the short arm, this is the long arm. As long as they're far away, it could be inherited separately. But you could say this is in one chromosome, this locus is another chromosome. Okay, so plant 1 is susceptible. So having this allele or this allele makes it susceptible. For this question, I'm actually not even asking which locus is responsible for that. And then let's see, P2 is resistant. So it's either this allele or the combination of both that makes it resistant. And then this one, the same thing. It's either this allele or the combination of both that makes it susceptible. Now, how do I know the mode of inheritance? What I'm looking for is, are the plants completely like one parent or completely like the other parent, or are they somewhere in between? So here I'm telling you that F2 are resistant to disease are, okay, then let's look at all of these guys here. And in this case, let's see if the heterozygote is exactly like one parent or not. So when I say they're resistant, I didn't say they're mildly resistant. So hopefully you know where I'm going with this. So let's see their children, these children. So number one, oh, it's heterozygote for this locus. So maybe this locus is not involved in the resistance. Maybe it is. But let's see. This one is like parent one, and parent one is, so P1 is susceptible. You're like, doesn't look like P1 is involved because this plant number one has the same profile as this parent one for this locus, but this locus, this plant is susceptible, this is resistant. So it doesn't look like this locus is responsible for the resistance. Let's see on this one. All right, for plant number one is heterozygote on this locus. And so this allele, remember this one is susceptible. So it looks like this allele is the susceptible allele and this is the resistant allele. And even if you only looked at the plant number one, then you could conclude that this is the allele that makes it resistant. And because I said that, okay, these are grandchildren, that the alleles, that the F2 are resistant, I didn't tell you mildly resistant or somewhat resistant. So since this is a yay or nay question, then your answer is complete dominance. Had we covered molecular markers, then I would ask you which locus and even which allele, which by now you might know. Maybe it will be a bonus point, who knows, question on the exam. But since we didn't cover that, then we only did mode of inheritance, you will be able to answer this. Question 3 by looking at the heterozygote and seeing whether or not it has the phenotype that is intermediary, or if the phenotype is exactly like one of the parents.